The title of this talk is Koha Linked Data, Wikidata.
Hello everyone. I think today it's the day of the Frenchies. You see, you had 2 Frenchies this morning, 1 now. I hope you will survive. So my name is Poulain. I'm involved in Koha since 2002, so a long time ago. I served as release manager for Koha version 2, 2.0, 2.2, 3.4, and 3.6, and 3.8, or something like that. I'm not sure. 10 years ago, I founded a company called BibLibre. BibLibre is like Bywater, except it's located in France, and we are dedicated to proposing open source software for libraries. My talk is about a project we have started internally at BibLibre related to linked data. So there are 2 parts in my presentation. One part is saying a few things, a few very basic things about what is linked data, or in case someone don't know. And the second part is presenting the very early stage of the project we are working on. Maybe you are wondering, why is there a beer on my presentation? First of all, I don't drink beer, but as someone, was it Catherine? Someone said developers of the Koha community enjoy drinking beer. So there is a beer on each slide of my presentation. The developers will be interested in my presentation. So there is really a beer on each slide. Some very basic explanation about linked data. Probably, I hope everyone knows that a web page is displayed using something that is called HTML, and HTML is explaining how things should be displayed on the screen. So, for example, if you write H1 Victor Hugo /H1, you mean please display Victor Hugo as main title. But it does not mean at all, it does not explain at all what means what is displayed. So if you have 2 pages talking about Victor Hugo, or 2 data talking about Victor Hugo, they can't be linked by a computer. A computer doesn't know that those 2 pages are related together. So I think something like 10 years ago, some people started to think about how could we switch from something that is just displaying web pages into semantically meaningful pages. So there have been 2 different directions to improve and to create linked data. The first is organize information using identifiers. You know what is a BNF? It's the French National Library, Bibliothèque Nationale de France. So it's like the Library of Congress in France. You probably also know that there is a British library, there is also a Swedish library, and there is a Turkish library, yes, I'm sure. There is a German library. I hope I am not forgetting. There is a Norwegian library, National Library. There is a Canadian National Library. I'm trying to talk about every country that has at least 1 person here. So, big libraries, and mainly, well, firstly, National Library started to add identifier into their bibliographic records. And for example, the BNF record entry for Victor Hugo, you see there is a URL with an ARC URL, which is supposed to be a forever lasting URL. So even if the background software change at the BNF, this URL is expected to last for centuries. The Library of Congress also has the same kind of identifier, and probably the Swedish library, the German library, National Library, etc. All those identifiers our first step for linking data together. The next thing to link data together is to organize information using what is called triples. A triple is three information linked together: a subject, a predicate, and an object. Predicate is a verb usually. So, for example, Victor Hugo is an author. Victor Hugo was born in February 26, 1802. I made a mistake. Victor Hugo wrote Notre-Dame de Paris. So the next step, people from National Library, from Wikipedia Foundation, etc., they linked all those data using automated tools, and they linked the Victor Hugo entry from the BNF, the Library of Congress entry for Victor Hugo, the Victor Hugo entry for at the Swedish National Library, etc., etc. And they added a lot of other information using automated tools and sometimes using manual things. And that's one of the results of those links is wikidata. Wikidata, here is the Victor Hugo entry for wikidata. So wikidata.org/wiki/Q535. This is really Victor Hugo. If you go there, you will see a lot of information, a lot of linked data related to Victor Hugo. Information like authority-related information, like the name, date, place, date of birth, date of death, etc., etc. Linked to other people, who was his father or his mother, sibling, spouse, partner, child, etc. Occupation, for example, Victor Hugo has been a politician, a novelist, a librettist, an essayist, and many, many others. I choose Victor Hugo first because he's French, and second because he's well-known, and third because he has a lot of information into Wikidata. Which position did Victor Hugo hold? He has been a member of the French National Assembly, a senator of the Third French Republic, a member of the Chamber of Peers during the Third Republic or the Fourth Republic, but I don't remember. Well, he made many, many things. He wrote many, many things also. So Wikidata contains links between this entry for Victor Hugo and a lot of other entries included into Wikidata. And you also have an identifier list. Okay, so the entry for Victor Hugo on Wikidata is linked to the BNF entry, the Library of Congress entry, etc., etc. I have counted manually all the worldwide catalogs Victor Hugo is linked on Wikidata, and I think that's 129. Okay, so there are 129 national catalogs or big worldwide catalog that have a link to Victor Hugo Wikidata entry. Okay, so I have added just for fun the PTBNP, which is the Portuguese National Library, and the NSK, which is the Zagreb National Library, etc., etc. Like this. So at the end, you get a very, very large and very, very big graph. We call it a semantic graph. And if you start from Victor Hugo, you can jump to, if you start from Victor Hugo authority record on BNF, you can jump to Wikidata entry, and then you can jump to Swedish library entries, then you can jump to etc., etc. And at the end, you get a graph that is so huge that you can't represent it completely. So, what is the? This is still a bottle of beer. Just not drunk yet. So, next step. That's it for my first introduction about linked data. Next step is what is the link with Koha? What can we do on Koha related to linked data? We have bibliographic records and authority. in France, the BNF has a public Z3950 server, and also a SRU/SRW server, and you can query it and retrieve BNF bibliographic record. So you can retrieve BNF identifiers, and you can include them into your local catalog. So in fact, that way you can link your local catalog to the linked data. So we have a small team at BibLibre of people doing research and development, and we try sometimes to investigate new ideas and think about new things to start and to work on. And we had an idea saying, okay, so now we have linked data. In fact, we wrote, at BibLibre, we wrote a tool that we can run on all our customers' catalog that will update all the bibliographic record to add the BNF identifier if we find it. Okay, so for example, we do a search on ISBN, and if there is no ISBN, we do a search on the BNF server on author, or title, author, publisher, and publication year. And if we find one result on the BNF, we consider it is the right one, and we can update and link the data, the local data, to the BNF identifier, and then to all the linked data network. So we started, we had the idea to investigate a new project, a new tool that we could use to represent linked data to patrons. We had some discussion and some thinking at the beginning of the project, saying what do we want to achieve at the end. So one of the main idea was we want to suggest things to patrons, to open their mind. Okay, it's not only a matter of doing catalog search, but it's also a matter of looking outside from your local catalog. So I said it already, but it's a very early stage of development. So I will show you some screenshots that are a proof of concept. In fact, the software itself does not exist yet. It's just screenshots we made manually. And probably it is something that is more for public libraries than for academic libraries, but you may disagree, and you may find it a good idea also for an academic library. Let me explain, and at the end you will decide. Another important idea was we want to show, well, we want to do something that is not tied to Koha. We want to do something that can be used by many different software, because we support Koha, that is the main product, the main software we support and we work on. But we also support another software that is called Boki, that it's a library portal management tool, like Drupal or Joomla, or who knows. We also support Omeka, and those three software, Koha, Omeka, Boki, they could use such a tool to suggest things to patrons. In our idea, we also were thinking of what kind of things do we want to show. So we decided that we want to show authors, linked authors, linked places, linked subject topics, linked dates, periods, and of course bibliographic record related to those linked author, places, topic, dates. There is an example a little bit later. You will understand better. We also decided we wanted something easy for patrons to understand. And we don't want something to be exhaustive. We don't want something exhaustive. We want just to open patron mind. I'm not sure you can see well what is described here, but the BNF has a web a web server called data.bnf.fr, who is presenting linked data and all the work the BNF is doing on linked data. I encourage you to have a look at data.bnf.fr. There are many things proposed. One of them is, for example, if you search for Douglas Adams, if you look at Douglas Adams here, you see related contributors, and you see all the lists of patrons who contributed something with Douglas Adams. Here it's the number of common contributions they have. So here it's Jean Bonnefoy, who has 22 contributions to Douglas Adams' work, and here is the list of the common contribution. So that's very interesting, but in our idea, that's not what we wanted to do, because we want to do something simple, easy to understand for basic patrons. There is no basic patrons here. There are only wonderful librarians, so I'm fine. So one of our ideas was to say we will limit what we will propose to a patron to 9 tiles. Okay. So for example, the idea is we are on a work, or no, sorry, we are on a bibliographic record. For example, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy from Douglas Adams, and the patron click on suggest me something, and we will display 9 tiles showing some randomly chosen authors linked to this work and this author. Some chosen, well, when I say randomly chosen, I mean randomly chosen 2 or 3 randomly chosen from the list of all of those who are linked to Douglas Adams and or the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. We will also display 2 or 3 subjects linked to the subject linked to this work. We would also display some works linked to this initial work, so Foundation, June, and at the top right, it's a period, so 10 years before and 10 years after the publication of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I should have chosen another title, because Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy for a French guy, it is very hard to pronounce. Written it's easier. Oral is harder. So yes, so that's what I just explained. So display 9 tiles with representing authors, topics, works, or period linked to the bibliographic record the user is on. We could also from those 9 tiles, what could the user do? The user could, for example, click on Douglas Adams and reach the page of reach a page presenting linked data related to this patron. Once again, we will have here topics inspired by, worked with, and there can be also others linked. So the patron starts from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, jump to Douglas Adams, then jumps to science fiction or fantasy, then etc., etc. And he is working on the linked data graph. There is also a page for the place, because a work is written and or published on a given location. And we could explore also a topic. So for example, here, the patron, the user has clicked on the fiction topic, and he gets 9 books or 9 works linked to the topic fiction. The list is not, once again, we are not supposed to be exhaustive, so we display only 9 results, and the refresh button could mean show me 9 others. Those 9, I don't care. Show me another one. And the filter could be used to increase the filter the patron can do on the result he has. One of the questions that we think we will have to deal with is the linked data graph and the linked data databases don't know what you have in your library. So here, those 9 books, so those 9 works, maybe you have them in your library, maybe you don't have them in your library. According to us, that's not a problem because we want to open patron's mind. So it's fair to say, right, there is something, we don't have it, but it exists, okay? What we will have to find later, but we are too early in our work, what we will have to investigate is if 99% of the time we get works that we don't have in our library, so probably there is something wrong. We must find the right balance between giving information, between opening minds, and between losing the patron. Oh, that was my next slide. So we will have to find the right balance between be too specific and be too large. For example, Victor Hugo, much easier than each other. Notre-Dame de Paris is a bibliographic record. Well, Notre-Dame de Paris is a work, sorry. This work is talking about, well, is taking place in Paris. So find everything related to Paris in the linked data graph. You will get thousands of results. So that will be useless. On the other hand, if we are really too specific, still work Notre-Dame de Paris, place, and do search on place Paris, period 1831, which is the date of publication, genre fiction, we will get only a few results, and that will not open people's mind, that will not open patrons' mind, so that will not be useful either. So we will really have a lot of things to do, and maybe we will face a dead end. We are not sure yet. We will have to find the balance between being too specific and being too generic. Probably it's useful and it's relevant to, from a given author, to display one or some related authors, because a given author, if he has a relation in the linked data to another author, then maybe they have common things. So probably it's okay, but link work only to related places, only to related dates, only to related topics, for sure that will be too large. So we will have to mix places, dates, topics. We will see how to deal with it. And once again, maybe the result will be a dead end and it will be not really usable for patrons, but we really want to go further and try to see if we can find a balance in our idea. Just a few, 1 or 2 slides related to the technical background. We plan to use a dedicated web server answering web services. So this, let's call it Explore platform. This Explore platform will be mostly a web service, and any software will be able to call this web service, retrieve results, and it will be the responsibility of the consuming software to display the results the way he wants. The server-side platform, the Explore platform, will just return JSON results with no display information. The display is made on the client side. Okay? What is nice with such a technical background, technical choice, is that it should work with any software consuming this Explore service. For example, in our case, Koha, Koki, Omeka, they will be able to query Explore to get results. It's also much easier to tune the server logic. We will have to investigate a lot how to deal with B2 specific and B2 generic. Okay, so probably we will have to do some change and some tries and have some feedback from patrons that we can collect from the queries and the answer we do. And with the web service client organization, we will just have to update the server side, and the client side nothing will change on the client side. We just improve the results we will send. One of the technical difficulty we will face is how to return to the initial software after exploring. In our ID, I'm not sure it is clear enough, but now it will be. The ID is you will be on the Koha OPAC page, on, for example, Victor Hugo, Notre-Dame de Paris. You will click on Explore, and a window will show you the 9 tiles, and you will continue to work on the linked data. And at the end, you will have to say, do you have this in your library? Or please place a hold on this on my library. So how will we go back to the initial software, the ILS or the portal or whatever? I will try to announce a date. So for sure, it will be different. But our goal is to have something released at the end of this academic year, so in next June. And once again, we could decide to stop and abandon this project if we realize it is a dead end. We really started it with the idea of just trying to do something with linked data, and maybe we are doing it the wrong way, maybe not. We will see later. Of course, everything will be open source, and if you have any feedback, question, idea, suggestion, contribution, you can drop me an email, or Claire Hernandez, who is the woman working on it on a more daily basis than I am doing. I'm done. If you have any questions.
The linked data enthusiasts will say you have to, Koha needs to serve the data back as linked data to be proper linked data.
I just had a thought of solving the problem between making the search results too generic or too specific. Could you turn it back on the user and give them maybe a sliding scale of 1 to 10, saying just a few really relevant things or a little more? So this is the kind of thing I come across every day when I'm doing lit searches. If somebody is doing, it depends on what the person wants. If it's a resident wanting to do a 5-minute presentation tomorrow morning, I'm going to give them the different results from they're doing a meta-analysis, and that'll give them a whole lot more. And there's one person I work with when whenever I do a search, she wants everything. That means 500 citations, she gets 500. So just turn it back on the user.
Very good idea. I don't know how to implement it, but that's a very good idea. When I say I don't know how to implement it, I'm not thinking about the technical implementation, because the technical implementation, we always find a solution. But one of our first challenge is keep it simple for users. So we will have to find a way to let users say, okay, it's irrelevant or it is very relevant, but we must do that in one click. Okay, so, but very good idea. I like it.
I just have ideas.
Yeah. No, it's a design question.